this one's. I haven't sat this much. So we can put on. Zoom, it's Eric. Make it. Didn't want to make it so. Anyway, Cindy should be coming on here in a minute. I'm sure. I'm hearing it. Cindy, can you turn yours down just a little bit? I may have pumped the volume up just a bit.
Hey, did you do anything with them bowling nuts?
Yeah, that's gonna come out of Bill's budget.
Not a bill?
Yeah. So, it's gonna be ordering probably this week.
You're not getting one of the camper?
I don't know. I don't know where he gets it. I'm gonna suggest that.
Funny. You're not getting them nuts over in Canada? Cause they have more stock. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I see. Okay.
Okay.
Pretty cool about that. Supposed to be real cold tomorrow. I mean, high 30s.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Hey, did you talk to Donnie about that? I'm stupid Christmas tree.
Yes.
What did he say?
Talk to Bill too, and questions why.
How you retire to him?
Ours, solar, everything's solar. They have solar lights at the front. That's the feedback. Well, he's gonna leave this, the one for in here on, but I'm gonna turn that on, and you can turn on. Right. Okay.
All right.
I just, texted that to you. 550? Okay. I emailed it, I'm sorry. Come on. Cindy, you're muted, right? Waiting for. Yeah, if you would. I mean,
Eric, are you able to hear me?
You want to step in?
Are you still there?
Yeah, we're here. We're trying to, Eric was on Zoom and now he's not, so we're just trying to see what's going on with that and then we'll get started. I can always call him. No, I can call him from my cell phone. We'll just pass him. Are you calling him, Jack?
I'll tell you what, why don't you just let us call you up?
So then we don't need this Zoom. Nope. Okay. So let's turn off Zoom then, because we don't need it, and it's one more thing to.
Okay.
Eric, can you hear me?
Eric? Eric, you there? Eric?
I can.
Eric, you there?
Wait, now somebody else dialed into Zoom. Who is this?
That's him. 572, that's him.
Oh,
Oh, there he is again.
Okay.
Good to go.
All right.
I wonder if he can hear me.
Eric, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Okay, moving on.
Eric is here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead, Cindy. You want to get started walking through the revenues of the budget?
All right, we're just gonna go,
If you could make sure you're talking loud to your microphone, just so everybody can hear you.
we're just gonna go by the groups instead of line item by line item. So the first one will be 301, the real estate taxes. Total is 2,237,000. It's up slightly, and that's due to housing development.
Yes.
The 2020 year forecast, how has it considering of the 14 million
Yeah. And what was the $2,140,000 based on? Because we had extended the no penalty period to the end of the year. Everybody was thinking that everybody would pay by the end of the year.
Well, most everybody has already paid.
Can you hear her answer, Tom? I can repeat it, so let her answer it and then I'll repeat it. Go ahead.
We have a lot of our collections in, the majority of them that Jordan expected to come in are in.
Okay, so basically what she's saying is that what you would normally expect normally be in. So what hasn't been paid, or what you would in a normal year expect them to be paid anyway. So basically there's not a big difference between a normal year and this year because of the pandemic. So that is based on, so the year-end forecast would be based on.
Correct.
Okay, yeah. John says we're 90% collected. All right, go ahead.
Okay, the next section is 310, the Local Tax Enabling Act. It's slightly up at 5.1 million. We are predicting a slight increase in earned income tax. Even though the pandemic is what it is, people are still working from home. So we really don't expect to see much of a decrease there. And we're expecting to see somewhat of an increase in the realty transfer tax because of the homes being built.
Okay.
321 business licenses and permits. That's just slightly increased due to cable franchise fees.
Okay.
The next line item is 322 road encroachment permits. That's just the openings of the streets.
Yeah, we can kind of skip through, I mean, some of that stuff, but fine, we're fine.
331 is fines. That's pretty stable. Interest earnings, 341, that's slightly increased. We just don't know where that's going right now with the market.
Go ahead.
It's unusually high this year. Mike has done a very good job with one of the residents who has been in violation with weeds in the condition of his property.
Can you hear me? Yeah, it is.
342, the rental of the building, hopefully we'll be able to rent Generations again next year. 355 is the shared revenue from the state. We're predicting a slight decrease there because of the pandemic. We've been told to expect a little bit less revenue in that area.
You kind of move through a little bit faster. Like, I'm not trying to rush, but like some of the stuff is like relatively self-explanatory.
All right. Right.
Conservative.
The big differences, or the only differences this year to next year, is some of the revenues are conservative because of the pandemic. Next year, in expenditures, we do have an additional public works employee figured in under the 430 line items.
Okay.
We do have,
So going back quickly, so just to be clear, 355, 361, 362, 363, 364, 37, like all those three are very consistent.
yes, yes,
So then in legislative body, we don't expect 400, we don't expect it. That is what it is. Executive, which is salary, the manager, size, there's not.
Correct.
Tax collection,
Is the same.
right, literally the same. The
That's the same.
Yep. Salary, public, that's true. Like, parking services, that's the same. Hearing services, 250, very consistent.
Engineering services, we're budgeting more because it's consistently running higher than what we're budgeting.
So we budgeted, year 2019, year end 222.
Right.
I think my budget was 175. I don't know why we were that, but that really wasn't accurate. But-
Right, and that's
And I would
more,
expect this year to be higher because we're gonna have some bridge repairs.
we have the MS4 program that's so far this year run us 25,000. We have the road program that ran us 66,000. The Anger Road program, the slide to slope that's run us 32,000. We had Creedmoor, problems with Creedmoor that ran us 16,000. The GIS program ran us 20,000. We have miscellaneous engineering at 8,600. North the Pioli, 5,900. Planning and zoning.
Right, we understand that. I think my, though, is that we under budgeted in 2020. And I'm comfortable with 250 for 2021. Some of the things that we have as far as engineering goes. Right?
I'm sorry, you're echoing.
So I just said, I'm comfortable and I'm actually glad that you did that 250 versus lower number because obviously we missed the mark in 2020. So have some big engineering projects. So I was saying I agree with
Okay.
yeah. Go ahead. General government buildings. I mean, that is what it is. Like, John, you want to call out or? Okay. Okay. Yeah, just so you guys are in the loop, I had mentioned to Dawn prior to start of the meeting that I would like to see us really do an inventory of all the parts we have and the ones that we need to sell, we sell and get the money for them rather than have them stay here. So like I would like to see that be a project sooner rather than later. Yeah. Is we're not in charge of that. Okay. Anything else, John, or? Go ahead. Bye.
Fire. There's the salary in there for whatever you decide to do with the fire code officials, replacement. But everything else there remains the same as it was for this year.
Okay. We're still going to do a contribution to Southbridge at 50,000. Salary remains the same. And then,
Yeah, everything is basically the same in that area.
public safety. That's really the same as public safety and control.
In under code or code and planning, There is money in there, under printing and binding and zoning for an update to the, codification, if you choose to do that.
Yeah, just Cindy said, she was on the phone in case you didn't hear, there is money, $8,000 budgeted in for the zoning department to do a codification of the ordinances. So,
Animal control, leaf recycling, that's all the same. Going into public works, everything there is the same. There is money in there. Bill has asked for an additional employee.
did you hear that, Bill? Only thing in public works that really is changing is, Bill has asked for an additional public works employee. Great.
But everything else, everything else there remains the same. Salt, that's by contract.
Yeah, I know that's by contract and you can't change it. This is more curiosity than anything. Do we have an excess of salt from last year because it was such a light winter? That's it. Oh, I was. One,
Yeah, but why, how much is it?
why 196,000 and we made the adjustment.
That's the maximum amount we would have to spend on salt.
Okay, so because of pricing, and she said that's the maximum amount we would have to spend. That isn't necessarily what we would do. It's necessarily what we are gonna spend, but if it's a bad winter, that's the max we would have to spend. So,
Yes. Traffic control devices, that area stayed the same, and it actually looks like it's less this year because the Green Light Go project is done, well, almost done. Storm sewers and drains, same. Pairs of tools and machinery, same.
yeah, we're really caught up on it. Go ahead, Cindy.
Capital Road construction is, we've decreased that slightly. Parks,
Go ahead.
the only area that was cut in parks was the parks improvement. That's down to 40,000.
Right, so I will explain that one. So we've been super successful over the past year or two in getting grant money. So here is a line item that is easier to say to get grant money for. I said that we could cut from that, and I will focus first on working with Jack and Jason Ortita. I already been meeting with him in the next week or so to get some grants for specific projects. So I'm always have a conversation with Parks and Rec, Jack, but if there's any would like be done, no need to be done, maybe mention them to me, we can work on trying to get money. Stuff has gotten it done. It's person better. So, yeah, I think so. Cut that back and then try to get the money that's out there available. But
Okay, library, that's the same. The civil and military celebrations, that's the same. A new line item is lease payments, and that is to get some vehicles for Public Works for Bill and Renato, and possibly for planning and zoning. And that is for a lease payment for 3 or 4 years on some new vehicles for them. Yes. Lease to buy. And then you start getting into your unemployment, your workers' comp. That's, the workers' comp's gonna go up because of some claims we've had, and then you get into your general liability insurance. The, fire department comes under 411. We've had claims on our other insurance also, plus workers' comp goes up every year. Yes, the fire department did. We expect theirs to go up also. That's it.
any questions? Eric, questions?
What's the reason, I couldn't hear very clearly, what's the reason unemployment is 38,500? Did it went up?
What's the employment?
38,500.
Well, we had claims this year on unemployment. We had,
Few employees.
yeah, we had a couple claims on unemployment because of,
So we had, I'm just repeating him since he can't hear you. So we've had a couple of claims, 2 claims this year on unemployment. So I know a budget number in case we would have that in the future.
For the COVID time off. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're covered.
even if we get that reimbursement, we still have a claims history.
Right.
Remember COVID?
Yeah. Yeah, those claims were not COVID related.
Has there been any discussion with the park board in regards to 40,000?
I had, yeah, this is general fund money, so this is not parks and recreation money per se. But I didn't want to have a conversation with them until we had a conversation in the board. There really is a ton of grants out there, and I think we've kind of overlooked it for years. So this is not an effort to stop market improvement. In fact, I have a $300,000 LSA grant that would be, in our park. So it's not in any way, shape, or form to stop the path of parks improvement. It's just, yeah, we need to be smart about money this year, and there is a lot of grant money out there. So we will have a conversation, but I wanted to have a conversation.
How much additional 225,000 is left over was not spent?
Yeah. that bridge.
So how much was spent? Was that Fred's project that he was spearheading?
I submitted a grant, LSD grant we got last year for bridges.
Some equipment that was pretty in itself, or installed.
I mean, I sat with me at the LSA grant. I'm not really sure, there wasn't an additional Turks project that was worked on. Yeah, I think that's
I didn't hear the answer of why the asphalt was cut for any point, or you think we're all caught up, all the roads are,
yeah,
any of the roads we do, have been done?
yeah, so essentially all the roads that the public works can do with their own machinery are done. So at this point, we're only left with the roads that we would need to contract out.
Is that Bill's opinion, or is that Dan Dyser's?
And 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 any other questions?
Quantification,
Hold on.
we're deciding to put it online now, or besides having it online, you want to do it, putting it to binding?
Well, codification doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be printed. It could be, but it also means that we go through and make sure that everything online matches the changes. So, for example, hold on, Eric. So, for example, at our last month's meeting before the meeting, we had that conditional use hearing. They relied on the website, and it was actually not updated with a change that we had made, banning contractors' yard from C1. So something needs to be done so that we make sure that what's online and what's in that we're looking at and in the view of the public is actually the ordinances of the town.
Part of this function,
Yes.
might be $8,000 there then?
You hear his answer. Okay. Any other questions?
The last modification, or they put it online, correct?
Yeah.
And it's the yearly fee that they want to charge us to keep that updated, or what? So the same company that Bruce Bosley was working with?
Any other questions, Eric?
Was this recorded through our meeting room?
Yes. And project live.
That recording and get a clearer answer here during Cindy Alexander a little more clearly.
I mean, yeah, but it's all in front of you. I mean, she basically walked through and said that she conserved, correct me if I'm wrong at this point, but she made very minimal, if any, changes to any departments. Or cut back on Parks and Rec. We added additional employee public work. We added a line item for leased vehicles. Sean cut back from 3 cars to 2. And cut back slightly on road paving. Um, but those are, for the most part, it's very consistent with 2020 budget.
Started, like,
Okay. Tom, any questions? Frank, any questions?
Now, just to point out, we've taken a conservative approach to the budget, and it's just over $200,000 less than what the 2020 budget was.
Right.
So, departments have really looked at their individual budgets and done what they can for the township to meet the needs because of the pandemic.
I just wanted to let her finish what she was saying. She said that we've taken a very conservative approach to this budget, that all the departments have really looked at their budget and been conservative out there for so that they so that their the needs of the township be so. Yeah, there's only a $270,000 difference between the two
It's a decrease.
years. We're $270,000 less this year than we were in 2020. We're going to do that tonight. Yep. Yep. So we're going to do that. We're going to close the workshop and open the public meeting right now to adopt this. And then we will, in 20 days' time, we will vote to formally approve this one.
I think it'd make a motion to table it. I make a motion to table this,
It's been moved and seconded, so
and I'm making a motion to table it, please.
you
Table
can't. It's been moved and seconded.
Table is the high level of the motion on the floor.
Eric, it's moved and seconded. You can explain to the board right now in discussion your thoughts on it, but it's been moved and seconded to approve.
And I can make a motion that it's table it. You ask for a second on the tabling, please.
No, because it's already been moved by Ron and seconded.
And I have the right to make a motion. Tom, do I not have the right to make a motion to table it? Right there. I want to be able to, well, I want to be able to look at this and hear everything. I just got this in my hands this evening. We typically we have one meeting before we get to this point.
But typically, Eric, there's a lot more fluff, I guess you would say, or requests in the budget in a year. A lot of wishes. This year, it's not like that. This year, it's bare bones. It's what the township needs, not any wants, just to be conservative. So that's why most years, yes, I would agree with you, we would need multiple meetings to get through it. But there really isn't room to change anything. Or so it's been moved and seconded
I have a motion made to table this. I would ask that you would ask for a second for the tabling, please.
Eric, it's not work. Tom
Dawn, do I have the right to make a motion to table this?
Huh? Is
Do I have the
anyone,
right-
okay, hold on.
Table this.
Is anyone willing to second the motion to table? Today. The problem, Tom, is there's not any place to move to move money around, first of all. Second of all, my
That's your
concern,
opinion.
it is my opinion, and my concern is with COVID ramping up, it may be more difficult to get a meeting together where we could approve this. We have to advertise it for 20 days. We know that. To your point, if Eric sees something in these 20 days and can get a majority of the board to agree to a change, we can still make that change. But we need to get it advertised. Huh? Yeah, so we need to get this advertised, and if Eric sees something in the next 20 days, he can bring it to a majority of the board, and if the majority of the board agrees, then we'll change it. So, right. So nobody was willing to second your motion to table. There's been a motion to approve on and by Tom. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Or I mean, Eric. Passes 3-2. Okay, meeting. I'm gonna. I can. I will call Eric back. They hung up. I didn't mean to hang up on Eric. Hire for what?
Hello?
Sorry, I did not mean to hang up on you. I picked up my phone and.
Okay. Did you end the meeting yet?
Yes, and then because of my budget. In this year's budget, then he wouldn't get another guy in next year. Yeah, have that discussion and bring it to the December public meeting. All right, the meeting is now ended, so I have to hang up on you. Not on, or on, say good.
Who was Ron's statement in regards to the asphalt?
No, he was asking, he said Bill wanted to add his employee in December instead of waiting until January. But
Was any amount in the budget for the SBO?
yeah, $75,000.